guys, and welcome to Fireside Chat with the Johnstons. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Justin.
And we are here today with a great topic for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
This is an exciting one.
So if you have never heard of Next Generation Gym Owners, this is your first time listening to the podcast. We are an all-star cheerleading gym owner consulting company where we will help gym owners to gain their freedom, build more profit in their business, and in some ways, I would even say diversify.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is a little bit of what we'll talk about today.
Oh, it's a lot of what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
On top of that, you guys, we own a cheerleading gym in Warrensburg, Missouri, kind of the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the U.S. somewhere.
Yeah. We've owned it for 13 years, where we have all-star cheerleading, novice, prep, elite, half-year novice, full-year novice, fundamentals classes.
Baseball cages.
Batting cages, yeah. So we do a lot of stuff outside of cheerleading, like, open gym. We have a licensed child care program for after school and summer camps. So...
just a little bit of everything.
we're going to get into that today, too. So
all in 2,000 square feet. It's good.
But if you are in 2,000 square feet, it is not the smallest gym I've ever seen.
True.
Have you ever been to Key West where you see the smallest bar in the world is what they call it?
It's like in between an alley, like a little spot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
closet.
Yeah, like 200. Not even. I wouldn't even say 200.
No, it's
what
like.
do you think that is?
It's like 50 square feet.
50 square feet bar. Yeah. So if you're in a teeny tiny gym, don't stress. The stuff we're going to talk about today is actually pretty cool for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so let's get into it. Today's topic is unicorn businesses, the unique freedom of all-star cheer gyms.
So is cheer a unicorn?
You've heard me say, if you've listened to our podcast before, I've said about 1,000 times, cheer is not a unicorn. We operate a lot like so many other businesses. And Justin, will you speak for a second to the businesses that we have owned over the past 14 years?
Yeah. So if we look at it, we've owned a food franchise. We've owned a wholesale company.
Basically bought Amazon pallets and then auctioned them off. Auctioned off the individual things. It was a cool business.
It was a very cool business. We do own real estate, so kind of our own landlords and
we've done commercial
rental.
And residential.
Yeah, commercial
rentals.
And residential, and currently do that. We've owned a marketing company, so website company.
Two of them
now, and then consulting.
We've done a couple of different ones of that.
A couple of them, and then cheer, obviously cheer gym. What else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing one.
I don't think so.
I think we're at 8.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I would even go so far, do we officially have property management? No. But at this point, how many doors are you running on the rentals?
15.
15 doors, which means, like if you're a duplex, that counts as 2 doors, fourplex is 4 doors.
Yeah.
So 15, which puts you probably close to the property management company in some ways.
They say 20 or more, you're one to definitely be in a property management.
Yeah. And you almost have to run, when you have that many rentals, you do have to run it like a business. You can't, it's not just like your house you moved out of that you're renting to somebody else. And so, So guys, we're going to talk today about the parts of, so I should back up. The funny part of this is Justin and I had a conversation about a week and a half ago where we were talking about some of the cool things and what has made Twisters, our gym, unique from all the other businesses that we have run over the years.
Lawn care. I forgot.
Oh, lawn care.
Yeah.
And COVID really pushes you to do some funny stuff.
I was trying to figure out the one that was different. That one was...
Yeah, we did residential lawn care during COVID because who knew when the gyms were going to be back open again?
Yeah.
So...
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was last minute. Yeah.
That is super weird because I forgot about that because I blocked it out because it was...
Gosh. Danielle trying to do manual labor like that. Oh my gosh. I was like...
I drove a lawnmower and listened to podcasts the whole time. And I remember one time, Justin came up to me, he's like, dude, you just ran over something. And I'm like, was it an animal?
Yeah,
it wasn't. It was like a pipe in the ground that shouldn't have been there.
Her level of expertise on the lawnmower is...
Actually, Justin once had me...
Terrible employee.
...do weed eating, but I couldn't start the weed eater. So Anyway, I am not made to be, but I was really good at getting us jobs.
Yes, she's great at that. She can market and get us the jobs. But
when the economy,
doing the job, that was like a 4.
Here's what I think is cool.
I needed a 5.
You needed an employee who was way better than me. Here's what I think was cool. In the middle of a pandemic, when everybody is at home and capable of doing their lawn care themselves, and a lot of people do not have money coming in because they work retail or service-related business and they've been laid off, we had more landscaping jobs than we could even handle. Mm-hmm. We were literally like, stop marketing at one point because we didn't want to do anymore. I especially did not want to do anymore. But we started it because our kid had been mowing lawns and we're like, we don't really know when the gym's going to open back up. So we should probably get some income.
Let's do this.
And it taught us how resilient we are as people. Mm-hmm. So there you go. However, today, this conversation started kind of all over the place today. This conversation started about a week and a half ago, and we were talking about how unique and how cool Twisters has been in the sense that we can be so creative in what we're able to offer. And when you feel like something is no longer working super well, you just get more creative and do something a little bit different. And it's so different than any other type of business we had. And Absolutely. Justin's like, so would you consider that a unicorn? I'm like, gosh darn it. I have always said that Cheer is not a unicorn. So I just want to talk for a second about the definition of a unicorn business. When we talk about that, so many times people in Cheer are like, well, there's just no buildings available. What we do is so unique that there's no buildings available in my town.
I need taller ceilings. I have to have them.
Yeah. But think of other businesses. If you're in, a restaurant, you need somewhere that can have exterior space for a hood vent. You might need somewhere that has a special kind of fire alarm system. Every business has challenges, and so many of them are exactly the same. Now, yours may be unique that you need, 25-foot ceilings, but somebody else's is unique that they need a drive-through or they need space for a drive-through. Mm-hmm. So the things that we need are typically, I would say, not unicorn related. We don't have abnormal problems in the cheer industry.
No. Would it be nice to have a hole in the floor to put your pit? Yes. Do you have to have it?
No. Yeah, absolutely. The things that I think can be unique to the cheer industry, you might be thinking, well, we work with children. We can't have, one coach, one athlete. Whereas if you're in a restaurant and there's one person behind the counter, making the food and doing the behind the counter stuff and one person ordering the food, that's not an issue. You're right in that sense, but it's what we deal with is no different than a teacher, right? And no different than anybody else in a child-related business. And so cheer truly is not super unique, but there's one thing we thought of that made it really a unicorn kind of business, and that's the lack of limitations.
Yes, it is really it's a growing industry. Cheer is not going away.
Yep.
And it's not going down. It's improving and doing better. But 2, you're providing a service that you can provide more of. Mm-hmm. There's no limitation on the service that you can provide. And the opportunities in this industry are huge. There's less limiting factors than most businesses.
Right.
And that's the thing that we are most excited about with the cheer gym.
So think about some of the challenges that you have encountered in your gym. For example, the rising cost of everything. Mm-hmm. If you're like, well, this is a unique challenge that we have that nobody else has.
Inflation is out of control.
Actually, here's the thing. If you play competitive soccer, like league soccer or club volleyball, you have way more limitations. You have to rent out gyms. You have to have coaches that have a certain, level of education in the sport itself. We can train our own coaches in All-Star Cheer, right? We can say, okay, elite cheer has become outrageously expensive. Great, let's do prep, non-travel prep. Let's do non-travel elite. Let's do novice. Let's do half-year novice and full-year novice. Let's offer rec cheer. We are totally different than a business that offers club volleyball or league soccer because they can offer one thing.
It's super limited on their menu.
Extremely narrow.
Put it in a food franchise type or a food aspect of a restaurant. Our menu can grow with the business.
Can I talk about something funny? So Pita Pit, is if you guys have ever heard of it, there are actually not a lot of franchises out there anymore unless you're Canadian. So it was essentially like a pita, like a sandwich, but with a pita.
Yep.
Number one problem, somebody's gluten-free. Okay, fine. They make a gluten-free pita or you go get a salad.
Right.
Number two, do you think you can sell cheeseburgers in a place called Pita Pit?
Yep.
Not well.
Yeah.
So they made a cheeseburger pita. Like the ability to adapt was really a struggle, right? If somebody walked in and they wanted dessert, you had a cookie. Like that's all you had because it would be weird to offer anything other than that at your place. You were just so pigeonholed.
Yeah, very pigeonholed.
Right? Where in cheer, if your birthday parties aren't selling, you simply come up with a new theme. You simply think about how can I do this party but do it differently? How do I sell this event but maybe we retheme the event to something else so that it's essentially still tumbling or still dance or still cheerleading, but now it's something that people want to go to.
Right.
Because it's popular.
Yeah, you can literally watch what other people are doing at their gyms and see like what's hitting for them. We can try it in our gym and see what happens.
So let's say
there's so much opportunity.
Like
it really is limitless.
Here's an example. So birthday parties, something that we're talking about doing for this year is adjusting the themes on our birthday parties. So what do, tweens care about right now? Oddly, skincare. So how do we turn that into something that we can utilize in our gym? We came up with the pink pajama party. And that's your birthday party. It is a pajama themed. They are going to be able to have fun, do popcorn, do a movie, do stuff like that, but they're in the gym. And so it's just something different that I can only change a pita so much to help it be more appealing to people. But in my gym, I can change a program substantially.
So how are you integrating skincare into a pajama party?
Yeah, I get it. So it sounds like it has nothing to do with it, but you're actually taking away the whole, what do kids care about when it comes to skincare? It's not the skincare, it's self-care and being comfortable and stuff like that. So now you're taking an element of that and you're allowing it to adapt a birthday party, right? They wear the headbands and they have the little things around their wrists. And so you're creating an environment where they can do the things that they love, even if it's not directly that thing.
And they have something in common because now they're talking about similar products and stuff like that. I can see that.
Yeah, and we've actually done something like that at the gym before. And the host of the birthday party, they can bring little face masks, the sheet masks that the kids can put on their faces, and they can do little things like that. Our parents' night out a couple years ago, we had a little nail painting station, and we would, as long as their parents said they were okay to do it, we would paint their nails at the station because it was just a cute little station of something to do, right? You're adapting to what kids already love. And we have the creativity in our gyms that we can do stuff like that. Whereas most businesses do not have that level of freedom.
Compared to any of the other businesses that we've done, this one has allowed us to be the most creative and to continue to recreate ourselves as a business. And that is, for longevity, is the best. In all the other businesses that we've had, the limitations held you back on being creative. This one is absolutely really, if you think about any business out there, this is one of the most that allows you to be just adventurous with your business. And
if you've been in this industry for a number of years, think about 15 years ago. Were there novice programs? Or even, I don't even remember 15 years ago. I think prep was a thing, but we didn't have it in our gym, right? So novice and prep and fundamentals were developed because we needed something. We saw a need in the industry and we were able to meet the need. Same thing with ninja programs. Brothers were just running around with nothing to do at the gym, sitting on, truly it was iPads back then, at least 13 years ago. They were sitting on iPads, having nothing to do. What did Connor get in trouble for when he was a little kid? He's now 19 in the Air Force, but he cheered a couple of years, our son. But he got in trouble for throwing a car at a kid, a little Matchbox car or whatever, just threw it at a kid in the kids' room, and somebody came out, they're like, some little redhead in there is throwing cars. I'm like, dang it, we've got to find something in the gym for him to do. And thereby came boys tumbling programs and ninja and the parkour style. Same thing, people are bringing babies in and you don't offer anything until 5 years old. So you start preschool classes, or you start toddler, or even Rihanna has
Mommy and Me's.
yeah, baby classes. Twisters and Premier Academy have both run baby classes before. And you might be thinking like, what the heck do you do in a baby class? We have a packet for that in the academy.
Yeah.
But you can literally just create anything out of your own imagination.
So if you are a gym that's out there and you're very focused on just like, hey, we are a cheerleading gym and that is all that you do, there's a lot of opportunity for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another part of like growing that culture around your gym. Like, we're a family. This is what we do. We, all the way from toddlers to, all adults,
Teenagers,
really, teenagers to adults. Like, we have things in the gym that we can do. And as your program grows, you can be creative and try new things.
Mm-hmm.
We've tried things in the gym that have not worked, and we've done many things that have worked.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what was one that didn't work, Danielle? Just as an example, because we haven't always been like, oh, successful. There's been some things that we've done wrong.
I don't know that I would say it was wrong. It just sort of ran its course. We offered Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a long time in the gym. It wasn't so much that we did it poorly or anything. I think, one of our co-owners was a blue belt. I don't know enough about jiu-jitsu, but
blue belt,
he was a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and it worked really well for a long time. I think we just ran into the issue that like he kind of could be utilized in other areas of the gym a little bit better, areas that were growing more. It was a very split focus on our marketing.
And it's a sport that's very slow to belt.
Sure.
Very slow to belt. And so it was great, but it wasn't the best use of our space.
Even that though, I mean, boy, did we get creative in those years that we were like, I don't know if I want to grow it or eliminate it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a bad program. We're not losing any money on it. We're making money, but it's like kind of in the middle on profit margins of like being, exciting. What did well? Preschool jiu-jitsu, or as my daughter called it, preschool jitsu.
Yeah, jitsu. Yeah.
That
one did really well.
Yeah, like it was easy to fill.
Fun to watch.
We had them wear little gis, which, if you're a super serious Brazilian jiu-jitsu person, like you don't want to see the $20 gis that we picked out, but that's what parents wanted.
Yeah.
And they wanted to do it at our facility. And so it was pretty cool, because even those things that I don't want to bring back to the gym, you can be creative enough to run them and run them well if you choose to.
And I've heard of people having this thing in their gym that we used to have, but it didn't really work out for us. And do you remember what that one was?
Parents Fitness?
Parents Fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've run boot camp style classes before. We actually offered childcare during the parent boot camp fitness classes.
Mm-hmm.
We used to run an adult tumbling class every week. Gosh, I think we did that for 7 years, and it did really... I wouldn't say really well. It did okay.
Yeah.
Good enough to not cancel it for 7 years until we found something better.
So, and I think that's the thing right there, is to continue to be creative and modify as you're going along. And the neat thing about it is you can.
Yeah.
Like, unlike just using the food franchise, the pita pit, you can't modify. You can't change. You're restricted. You must sell this.
Yeah.
And the only thing that we had control over was the price, really.
Mm-hmm.
We could raise the price more than they wanted you to,
right?
If we wanted to, if you could. But other than that, you had no room for creativity. It was just do this, sell that.
Yeah, I mean, and they would, yes, you could raise the price, but then they would put out these national campaigns.
Oh yeah.
For $7.99 for a buffalo chicken pita, and you're like, oh my gosh, and now these franchisees have to deal with this thing cost me $7.38, and I'm making nothing off of it.
Making 50 cents out of this
and
thing.
And the food franchise is marketing the heck out of it on your behalf, and you're like, please don't buy that. I actually recommend something different because the profit margin stinks.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how this can compare to other industries and other businesses that we've owned where we felt like we didn't get that kind of creativity.
Yeah.
Okay. So in food franchise, not only did we, because it was a franchise, have somebody marketing on our behalf, but they would send us marketing materials, and we were required to pay a marketing franchise fee.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to choose what we were marketing. They were just going to send it to us because it was part of our royalties that we had to pay that.
Yep.
We didn't have the freedom to use, like you guys have Jackrabbit, iClass, like you have those options. We did not have those options.
Nope. You just deal with what they put out.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the marketing was honestly terrible.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have marketed like that, but
I agree.
I guess the experts in that franchise thought that was the best way to do it, so they just did it that way. And kind of like Danielle was just talking about, $7.99 for the buffalo pita, and we're like, that was not real cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, if you're watching on YouTube, you maybe just saw my face because I can't prevent it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we say experts in a very tongue-in-cheek way because, you know, a lot of food franchises are going out of business these days. So, like, are they really experts at knowing the individual franchises and what those franchises need that is unique to their area?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I would have rather spent that money focused on things that would be a better benefit to the military community nearby or the CrossFit community who is huge for coming into our business. I would have rather spent that marketing budget there.
Tailor it a little more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which you can't do from a national standpoint, but from a local standpoint, you definitely can.
Yeah.
Is a billboard the best thing to, advertise on? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
well, and on top of that, some of your Facebook reviews that we would get, we recently talked about like how to be a good customer and make sure that you're not giving bad reviews over things that are uncontrollable and stuff. But one of our reviews was, I don't like pitas.
Fair.
That's fair. I can't really fix that for you.
Yeah.
We had another lady who, oh man, this one made me so frustrated. She said, no longer offers cilantro, 1 star. Well, the franchise would not allow us to offer cilantro anymore because the item that required cilantro was no longer on the menu. So like if they came to your store and you had cilantro, you were going to get a little hand slap from the 22-year-old business coach that you were provided.
Mm-hmm.
So no shame to 22-year-olds out there. I wish I was 22 still.
No cilantro for you.
So anyway, look at a property management company. This is where the creativity comes in. Yep. Justin, what can you do other than rent to people and manage their property?
I mean, it's limited, but you can be the best that you can be as far as being on time and fixing things as quickly as possible, being quick to answer. I think that but other than that, there's not.
Creativity is minimal.
It's super minimal. Like,
yeah.
Hey, we're going to go from gold to bronze now. When things break, we're going to bronze. We're really upgrading.
Yeah. Well, and I think, our brains have a hard time not being creative in certain areas.
Yeah.
So we've talked about offering like, if you need maintenance in your apartment, you can go to a website and request the maintenance. And, so like, can you be creative? Yes. But like, it's not really that exciting in comparison.
No, but I mean, currently it's like, hey, Justin, can you come fix my faucet? It's leaking. It's like that, or, hey, on the website, you can type it in and now I can be like, hey, thanks, Bill, for, It's not a whole lot different, but I mean, I'm sure once it's like 50 people, it's, it's going to be a lot better for me to have them send it in.
So one of our tenants owns the Mexican restaurant. And so when we go into the Mexican restaurant, I think every single time Justin's honey-do list fills up.
Yeah, he's like, hey, Justin.
It's 20 degrees out and I can't close the patio door.
The back door won't close. And I'm like,
are you kidding me?
Dude, why didn't you come? He go, I just thought I'd wait for you to come back in. Like, I need to eat there more often.
Well, the real problem is he was probably thinking, I knew I'd see you on Tuesday. Taco Tuesday.
Turns out that the lock doesn't work real well, and so it just kind of unlocks on the back patio, but they're on the second story, so it's not like somebody's going to steal it. But it literally opens up on them, and I'm like, call me, I can fix that. Like, oh my God. Yeah, my heater doesn't turn off. It just keeps running right now. Like, my electric bill went up to $200. I'm like, in a little apartment? No way.
Yeah.
Like, call me.
Well, and you look at some of the other companies that we have owned before, even down to a website and marketing company. So specifically to websites, like I told Justin, if the internet goes out tomorrow, your company is basically down. Yeah. Like, and I mean, if the internet literally were to, I don't even know how this works, but like electromagnetic pulse takes out, I once saw it on 24, the show, like electromagnetic pulse takes out everything in the world and like the internet, like we probably don't have a website company anymore. I doubt anybody's going to keep paying when the internet doesn't exist, right?
Yes.
So I know that sounds like an absurd thing.
No, it's in the movies. It's going to happen.
Yeah, well.
It's this device in the back of a car. It's an EMP.
I'm just saying, when we first started hearing about COVID, how many people were like, yeah, right, the world will never shut down for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah. Even when you get down to things like the pallets that we were buying, off Amazon to...
They weren't pallets. They were entire trucks.
I'm sorry, an entire truck.
Of pallets.
That we...
Just be specific, yeah.
Thank you for specifying.
Yeah.
A truck of pallets that we were buying. We were limited by what they were charging for the truck.
Yeah.
And there were times that you were paying double
more
because they were in higher demand at that moment.
Yep.
And so, we look at this same thing. I'm going to go back to the food franchise for a minute because it's the most easily relatable. Y'all, did you know near the end of 2020, bacon, there was a shortage on bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And then also in 2020, and this one I understand a lot more because everybody was eating more at home and we don't have a healthy diet as Americans, ranch. I was about to be in the back with a giant mixer making our own ranch at one point.
There was a shortage on chicken. We were like, what?
Do you know that we could not get chicken from U.S. Foods, who was our food supplier? We had to go to Walmart and buy chicken.
And then chop it ourselves it was bad. Yeah.
I was like Betty Crocker in there trying to make stuff.
Yeah.
Just so that we had food to sell.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure you're sitting back and thinking about the limitations that your cheer gym has, and you're like, oh, you guys, cheer gyms have those same limitations. Well, we're going to get into that in the next segment.
Let's go.
Okay, so let's talk about the resilience in the cheer industry. We've overcome an awful lot of challenges, even just in the time that we have owned our gym.
Oh, yeah.
From economic upturns down, is it an upturn? Upturn
yeah, an upturn,
and downturns.
A downturn, yeah.
Pandemic, scandals. There have been plenty of documentaries about inappropriate relations with coaches and athletes, even inter-industry lawsuits, huge things that even parents, I have a parent from 2012, maybe? No, it must have been 2014. A parent from 2014 who just called us the other day. Her daughter is in college and she's like, so I just got a letter about a lawsuit that I might be getting money back on. Like an industry related lawsuit. Our industry has overcome an awful lot of challenges.
Yeah, if anything was going to take it down, it would have been taken down by now.
I would think so.
I would think so, yeah.
I mean, they always seem to surprise us.
It seems like there's been less in other industries that have taken them down.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
for sure.
For
I mean, the Boy Scouts were not taken down. You see other sports, that they're still thriving. And I don't know about you guys, but we're still selling trials. Kids are still signing up for tumbling. We still have a ton of likes on our post about releasing our season 14 packet next month. People are still signing up for cheer despite the challenges that our industry has faced.
And we've got real challenges. I mean, still.
Yeah.
And moving forward. So.
Yeah, I think you're continuing to see athletes and their parents be very supportive of all-star cheerleading and tumbling. I think you're still seeing, maybe not a lot, but you're seeing people apply to be coaches. If you're like me, I need more people to apply to be coaches, but we're still seeing applications come in.
So these are reasons why we are so optimistic about this industry compared to all the other ones that we've had.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, real estate is bad. It's an easy one. It's more of a passive one.
Sure.
This is an active one. But this one has been the best active business that we've owned.
Well, I mean, just to be a little ironic here, we talk about how we don't want our kids to be numbers, like you're number 5 on my team. Justin specifically has number 5. He's like, oh, got a interview next week for to rent out for apartment number 5, and then they just stay apartment number 5 in my mind the whole time.
Yeah.
So, our kids aren't numbers, but our tenants are. Just kidding. Cheer is not a dying sport. We've seen other sports. Data shows that gymnastics is decreasing and declining a little bit. It makes sense that competitive gymnastics might do that when, we used to have competitive gymnastics in our level 9s and 10s where they were practicing 24 hours a week, asking for more hours because they felt like they needed them. Mm-hmm. That is not today's teenager. And it doesn't necessarily offer the flexibility that you need today. which makes sense why a lot of cheer gyms have also started adding, why a lot of gymnastics gyms have also started adding cheer and ninja and diversifying a
We
bit.
have been seeing that a lot.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. So where some of the others may be declining, I can tell you those in the Next Gen Academy anyway
Mm-hmm.
are not seeing a decline. Our statistics in 2023 showed 79 new athletes, and that is including attrition. So let's say I start with 100 and I lose 7 kids. I'm not gaining 79, I'm gaining 87. And I hope I just did that math right for those of you who are writing it out right now.
I think you did.
But you know what I mean? Like I'm gaining 87 and ending the year on the positive of 79.
Mm-hmm.
And so that shows us that cheer is not on the decline. Cheer is very much on an upswing or an upturn, as I would have said.
Oh, yeah.
So cheer, while it may feel unsteady at times and unstable, is absolutely stable because of the resilience of gym owners and the level of creativity that we can have in our gyms.
And the fact that customers want it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go out there and advertise and put out that you have cheer and our teams are forming, those type of things, you are going to have people come to you. Even if it's just for the tumbling part. People want their kids in an active sport, team related, those types of things. And you find that at a cheer gym and people are looking for it. So, yeah.
Yeah. And, maybe you're listening to that and you're thinking that you really don't get a lot of new kids for tryouts and stuff like that. I really don't either. I get a lot of new kids for tumbling or for novice programs, and then they make their way into competitive cheer.
But that's some of the stuff that we teach in the academy.
Right.
And how to maximize those, because we've been doing it for a long time and we've maximized it. Like we have made it as efficient as possible.
Right.
And so those are the things that we teach.
And we're continuing to learn and adapt.
You have to.
Yeah, even the things. So guys, Next Gen is about to hit next month. We will hit our 7th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
We're in first grade now as Next Gen, right? If we were a kid, we'd be first graders.
Yeah.
Almost second graders. The things that we are teaching today in 2025 are very different than the things we were teaching even in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Like, social media and marketing has evolved. What your website needs has evolved. Sales, man, we are 10 times better at teaching sales now than we ever have been in the past, because not only do we have a thriving academy of people who are eager to learn, but they're sharing that knowledge. And we as owners of Next Gen have been continuing to be coached, coach others, listen to podcasts, listen and read books, write books, like things that require you to just constantly improve your knowledge.
And over those last 7 years now, between us and all of our coaches, we've helped out just under 2,000 gyms.
Yeah.
So after doing that, you have to continue to change, modify, enhance, and there's a way of doing that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and realistically, in 2018, we knew what worked in our gyms.
Mm-hmm.
We knew what worked for our friends who maybe weren't in, the Next Gen owners, but were outside of us in the industry. Now, the experience of our coaches and the experience taught in Next Gen, it doesn't have to be my experience. It can be the experience of someone that I've coached before or of one of our academy members. And I can then take that data and that experience and use it to help other gym owners, simply because we have 7 years of that experience now.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool when you're talking about building creative systems and being creative in building a resilient program.
Oh, absolutely. The neat thing is the platform works.
Mm-hmm.
Cheer works. Cheer sells. People want their kids in cheer, tumbling, everything that goes around cheerleading. Of all the businesses that we've owned, this one is the most resilient and the most creative.
Oh my gosh, we're a unicorn in this one area.
But it really is.
Yeah. So guys, if this was your first episode of Fireside Chat, thank you for sticking with us. If you have watched all of them, thank you for watching or listening at this point. We're excited to be on here with you guys every week, and we do release new episodes on YouTube. If you want to look at these pretty faces, new episodes on YouTube every Monday, new episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts on Thursdays. Any more information on the Next Gen Academy that you might like, you can find by going to nextgenowners.com book a call or just honestly hit the button because it's less typing for you.
Yeah.
Hit the button that says book a call. Lastly, if you want to get any information, we've got a couple of upcoming conferences. Summer conference is huge.
Oh, man.
We would love to see you guys in either Orlando or Dallas this summer of 2025. And you can get that information on ngconferences.com.
And I know I say this every time we have a conference, but these upcoming conferences are going to be the best ones we've ever had. Like, honestly.
True.
They just keep getting better. Like, we have more people that want to be there, more sponsors, better vendors. Like, it is incredible. Like, we, over 7 years of doing this now, we have met some incredible people and continue to evolve. And it's been, it's just incredible now.
Okay, guys, so in true Johnson fashion, that was part 1 of our episode talking about cheer gyms as unicorns. Me eating my words just a little bit.
Yeah.
But cheer gyms, in a sense, maybe you're a little bit of a unicorn.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Even marketing's different.
A little bit different.
Just a little bit.
So with that, you guys, we will see you next week for part 2 of this discussion and talk about what you can do and how you know if it's time to bring a new program into your gym and how to make sure it's successful. And we'll compare a little bit to some of the other industries again that we've been in and how, what our limiting factors were in those businesses.
Compared to cheerleading.
Yeah. All right, guys. So with that, we will see you on the next episode of Fireside Chat with the Johnstons.
Until then, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.